My name is Isaac Salatarov, and I am the director of WHAM, BAM, Islam. I want to start by showing some scenes from the film that didn't make it into the PBS version of the documentary. But I think these scenes are an interesting encapsulation of Naif Al-Mutawa, who's the film's protagonist, and also explain some of my motivation for making this film as well.
Oh, and look what I have in my hand.
Daddy Longlegs.
Daddy Longleg.
Throw it at the camera.
No, let's not throw it at the camera.
This is footage from the first shoot I did with Naif in the summer of 2006 at Camp Robin Hood in Freedom, New Hampshire. Naif has 5 sons, and while they live in Kuwait most of the year, he sends his boys to this camp every summer.
Cheese.
This is also the camp where Naif's parents sent him for the first time in the summer of 1978 when he was 7 years old. What Naif's parents didn't know was that this was a predominantly Jewish summer camp, a secret Naif would keep from his family in Kuwait because he fell in love with the place. The irony, of course, is that Naif had found a home at a Jewish summer camp at a time of increasing tension between Jews and Arabs in the Middle East. These were the years leading up to the First Intifada, marked by terrible violence between Israeli Jews and Palestinian Arabs.
I went through 10 years here and never had a political conversation, ever. And my parents never knew it was a Jewish summer camp or that it was predominantly Jewish. But I kept wanting to come back because these were my friends.
Rather than being a source of tension or confusion for Naif, camp became a template for the life that he would choose to live as an adult.
It's my name, 86. That's my name in Arabic as well here.
And that is as a bridge between cultures that many other people saw as being doomed to generational conflict. I had met Naif a few months before the shoot through mutual family friends. Naif was at that point raising money in the US for the 99, and I was really interested in the story because it seemed like he was embarking on this crazy social experiment. As someone who's followed events in the Middle East and Muslim societies, I'm aware of some of the fault lines and sources of internal conflict that exist in the region. And one of the more interesting ones is the struggle between religious fundamentalists who want to anchor their societies to traditions that date back 1,400 years, and those who view the world through a more secular, less rigid lens and want to see Muslim societies adapt to the times and integrate into the 21st century.
It's inspired by Islam, it's not Islamic. There's a difference.
With the 99, Naif was very publicly planting his flag on the side of those that were advocating for a more inclusive and open-minded society. I was intrigued to see what would happen, and that was my real motivation for making this documentary. What is Barney? Like anyone who spends over 3 years on a project, I have a lot of hopes for this documentary. But first among them is that I hope the film surprises PBS and Western audiences and challenges some preconceptions. We're on your turf, man. You can get away with that. I was drawn to Naif as a protagonist because he is such an iconoclast and interesting bundle of contradictions.
No. مشتقة منها بس مو الأسماء الأسماء لله.
This is a guy who can go toe-to-toe on issues of Islamic theology and then get weepy talking about the impact that John Lennon has had on his life. And hopefully there are plenty of other moments and characters who I hope leave viewers slack-jawed. My personal favorite is a university student who wears the burqa and compares Naif to William Butler Yeats.
Actually, he's like Yeats because
I think the Arab Spring and these national revolutions that have rocked the Middle East over the last year when I was editing the film has shown Americans something I started to understand over the few years I spent shooting Wham Bam Islam. That is, the notion of a clash of civilizations is being replaced by the idea of a commonality of civilizations. And I think Naif is a perfect example of this. A bridge builder between Islam and the West who's not doing it to make a point or to make a buck, although I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem if he did, but because it makes sense to him. It's a reflection of his life experiences and how Naif sees the world.
I feel a bit insecure because I have a piece of me out there now. And is it going to be accepted or rejected? The jury's out and inshallah, inshallah it works out.